In the headlines, Phase 2 of re-registration for NHIS registrants begins.
Enforcing the law to make all comply with making buildings disability friendly.
And Chad's President Idris Deby sworn in for a 5th term. Just gone by the headlines. Good evening. Welcome to the studios of GBC24 and GTV. Akushika Akwe.
My name is Shirley, and Clement Sam is our signer for tonight.
In our first story, it's the first day of the second phase of the re-registration of NHIS registrants, and in the eastern region, the new Joabian Municipal Electoral Officer Mrs. Lydia Ejurisaki said though they did not achieve their target, an average of 60% of the eligible voters were captured in the exercise. She asked those affected by the cancellation to take advantage of this final extension.
In the Volta region, GBC24 gathered that patronage on day one was low. According to the Deputy Volta Regional Director of the Electoral Commission, Nuhu Mahama, barely half of the voter population of 1,282 of over 1 million had checked their names in the region. He said the reasons some voters gave was that they had already checked their details on their phones. We bring you the report from the Upper West, where 7 people registered in the Wa municipality, bringing the number to 38 out of the expected 237.
Phase 2 of the re-registration period for those whose names were deleted for using NHIS cards is still open till the 12th of this month. However, when our regional team in the Upper West region went on their rounds, a lot of people were yet to re-register in the Wa municipality. When GBC24 visited the Municipal Electoral Office, only 7 people had registered as at 2 p.m. The Municipal Director of the EC, Mr. Jackson Ano, was disappointed at the low turnout, given that there was still a large number to be registered.
Our research and other things that we have done about it shows that most of the people who are supposed to come and register are UDS students. Most of them registered over there, and now they are on holidays. Most of them too have completed schools, and they are in other places in which they are not in our vicinity here.
At the time of the visit, exhibition officers were at the Municipal Directorate to submit the reports for the first phase of the exhibition exercise, which ended yesterday.
We're staying in northern Ghana, where the Savannah Accelerated Development Authority, SADA, appears to be on the path to recovering its reputation. This is because SADA, through its Millennium Villages project, is impacting the lives of people in some of its catchment areas by providing schools, clinics and water systems to communities that previously lacked such amenities. Abdulhai Mumin reports that residents of Kunkwa, Basenkwe and surrounding communities now have access to quality education and healthcare delivery.
Is a community in the Mamprogu Maduri district of the northern region. A good number of girls who travel to Accra to engage in the kaya youth business are from this area and its surrounding communities. The lack of schools in the area is largely blamed for the migration of children from this area. However, through the intervention of the SADA Millennium Villages Project, MVP, children in this community can now have a better education. The school is equipped with modern education facilities, including toilets, a playground, a water system, and textbooks. And the children are provided with free school uniforms.
It's just a matter of reading. You learn how to read.
The headmaster of the school, Abubakar Masaoud, says with the SADA MVP's intervention, the number of girls who have enrolled now far exceeds that of boys, an indication that more girls are beginning to have access to education. SADA officials say they believe that their work will be easier when the majority of the people are educated.
Many girls who could not actually afford to go to school had to go to Kumasi and Accra to carry Kayayi. But now that the school has actually been instituted, I think the enrollment figures have actually increased over the past 2-3 years. This is actually an indication that if government and other actors can actually invest in decent educational facilities in the SADA zone, many more young girls and boys will be able to actually access education at the same time, have facilities that are comparable to facilities in the urban centers.
In addition to tackling the issue of access to education, the SADA Millennium Villages project has built and equipped clinics in more than 30 communities, including Kunkwao and Pasinke, to provide access to healthcare services for the people of Mamprugu Maduri. Previously, the people had to travel miles to Walewale in the West Mamprusi district to access healthcare. At the Pasinke clinic, there is a well-equipped ambulance which runs on emergency response, making referrals easy. Pregnant and nursing mothers who previously had no access to antenatal and postnatal attention now easily get medical attention. A SADA health coordinator, Hilary Abu Askia, says SADA MVP has employed midwives and introduced an allowance package for staff of the clinic, just to motivate them to accept postings to the area. The SADA Millennium Villages project has also put up a small town water system to give the people of Mamprugu Maduri access to potable drinking water. Residents say they are generally satisfied with the work SADA MVP has done in the Mamprugu Maduri district so far. They say they used to trek to get water from the river, but now have water at their doorstep. The Savannah Accelerated Development Authority's Millennium Village project was established in 2012 in parts of the West Mamprusi, Mamprugu Maduri and Busa districts of the Northern and Upper East regions, with support from the Savannah Accelerated Development Authority and funding from the Department for International Development, DFID, of the United Kingdom. An official of the DFID, Vincent Langdon Morris, believes that the project, which is benefiting up to 25,000 people, is a huge success.
For sure, there has been an impact. I mean, I think that Millennium Promise Alliance, who have implemented this through the Earth Institute, have done a great job.
The project is now in its last year of implementation.
From Thursday, 11th August 2016, all owners and occupiers of public buildings are to start complying with Section 60 of the Disability Law, which enjoins them to make their facilities accessible to physically challenged persons. At the launch of a national campaign on disability-friendly public places, Gender Minister Nana Oyelitha said her ministry would champion this cause and expects all public outfits to make the necessary arrangements to comply with this law.
Many public and private buildings and other facilities in Ghana are disability unfriendly, and for persons living with disability, this makes them feel excluded and not a priority with regards to planning. In the developed world, however, the needs of such persons are factored in all forms of construction. The Law on Disability, Act 715, was passed in June 2006 by the then Kufuor administration. Among other things, the law guarantees persons with disability access to public places, free general and specialist medical care, education, employment, and transportation. But to date, physically challenged persons still go through one challenge or the other.
Our living becomes very expensive because when you are going somewhere, you need an assistant, personal assistant to go with. We have come of age. 10 good years that the bill was passed into act. Even the ministry in question that we are here today is not accessible.
It is 10 years since the disability law came into existence, and physically challenged persons are still holding on to hope that the situation will change. For the gender minister, this is about to change.
As a government, we understand and appreciate that making these public places accessible and including persons with disabilities in our programs is a human right that must be protected, that must be promoted, that must be respected and upheld by all aspects and persons in our society.
All things being equal, this campaign on friendly public places and space will create the needed public awareness about the law regarding disability-friendly buildings. This is expected to result in a more inclusive society where everyone can live in peace and enjoy, especially the underprivileged.
For the security services to handle the 2016 election effectively without brutality, the African Women Lawyers Association, AWLA, has trained some personnel of the police service on some relevant laws of the country, especially those bordering on ethics and human rights. It was organized in partnership with Star Ghana.
The African Women Lawyers Association, AWLA, a non-profit entity, was established in Accra in 1998. Over the years, AWLA has championed the rights of women and children. In the past, AWLA's work with the police involved the training of different segments or units within their service. Currently, AWLA has partnered Star Ghana to educate personnel of the Ghana Police Service on the 1992 Constitution and acts of Parliament such as the Electoral Commission Act, Representation of Peoples Act, CI 75, CI 91, and the International Convention on Rights and Political Rights. The Trainer of Trainees program is designed to sensitize the majority of the police personnel in the various regions and districts. About 60 personnel drawn from the whole country attended the training. Madam Edna Kuma is the Executive Director of the African Women Lawyers Association, AWLA.
We have always trained the police. We've collaborated with them as an institution for better governance. So when the election came, we decided to come and sensitize them on the electoral laws, because they man the police stations, and from the various questions we asked them, although they man the police station, they don't know the laws regulating the elections. So we thought we should let them know what they have to be dealing with.
Some participants also spoke to GBC24.
It has been successful, but we've learned so many things from here, and I think that will build us to know more about the electoral laws.
The program is quite good. It's giving an insight about the election laws, and we are most grateful to the organizers since we are heading towards election 2016, and we think it will motivate and assist police to curb any situation that may arise in the course of the election.
We have some more stories from around our country and from further afield. Do stay with us.
The National Democratic Congress NDC plans to launch its political campaign on August 14 at the Cape Coast Sports Stadium at a news conference in Accra. The spokesperson for the NDC 2016 campaign team, Mrs. Joyce Bar Mokhtari, said the NDC is ready for victory in the 2016 elections. The party is also expected to outdoor its candidate, President John Mahama, at the campaign launch.
That we are preparing towards the launch of the John Dramani Mahama 2016 campaign. We are kick-starting the official launch to formally galvanize our supporters, to give indications to the people of Ghana that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is ready for victory 2016. We have the full complement of all our parliamentary candidates for all the 275 constituencies. Indeed, we all know that our candidate for flag bearer is His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, ably assisted by Vice President Kwesi Emisa Arthur. Going forward, we all know the National Democratic Congress has always demonstrated its commitment to its social democratic ideals under the auspices of the party chairman, Portofi. We also know that we have also demonstrated the seriousness that we attach to this particular unique election coming up on December the 7th. Our candidate has demonstrated his commitment and passion for this country, to our development, and to the ideals for which the National Democratic Congress was established and set up. As a party, we believe that we have the best candidate, that as a party, we've put forth our best foot. We also expect that Ghanaians will, like us, agree with us that we're convinced that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama indeed deserves a second 4-year term. We have actually put together all the modalities for this launch of ours. So the official theme for the campaign will be Changing Lives, Transforming Ghana. It's very simple, straightforward, and catchy. It is well visible enough, displayed all over, and we relate and identify with this all-important theme of ours. We expect that all of our activities going forward will be feeding into this theme that we've been championing for the last few months. The official launch will be taking place at the Cape Coast Sports Stadium in the Central Region on the 14th of August 2014 at 1 p.m. prompt. I'd want to communicate to you this morning that the National Democratic Congress is prepared, is ready to have His Excellency John Dramani Mahama re-elected for a second term. We look forward to this official launch. We do hope that the launch will kickstart our activities for the next few months leading up to the victory for 2016 come December 7th.
Vice President Kwesi Mensah-Arthur says the church must partner the state in delivering quality education while all student unions support with amenities. This, he believes, is the surest way to get quality, affordable education without solely relying on the government. The Vice President's comment was occasioned by the 140th anniversary Thanksgiving service in Accra of Mfantsipim Senior High School.
For products of Mfantsipim School, a Thanksgiving service is the least they could hold to appreciate God, the Methodist Church, and the founding fathers who saw the need to establish the school as the cradle of formal education in the country. Many professionals, too many to count, cut their teeth in education in Mfantsipim, grounded in sound Christian doctrine, of which Vice President Kwesi Mensah-Arthur and former United Nations Secretary General Kofi Annan are included. Since its establishment in 1876, Mfantsipim has churned out quality human resource to the country and international community. One of the numerous reasons it has become necessary to thank God for His faithfulness. Despite the success stories from the school, challenges also abound, and the Mfantsipim Old Boys Association are on hand with some solutions.
Mobile National is concentrating this year on 3 main projects. That is to complete the water and sanitation project that we started last year. The next is the infirmary. We're going to make sure that is completed by speech day. And finally, the library, which we're working towards making it come of use.
Vice President Kwesi Mensah-Arthur, an old boy of the school, urged staff to work on the head, heart and hands of the students in line with the vision of the founding fathers.
In Mfantsipim, it was an example of the senior boys who gave us encouragement. And I hope that our lives also as old boys will encourage the people who are there now, the people who are hoping to get to Mfantsipim, because the school has given us a reason to be proud.
Various year groups from Wesley Girls, Holy Child, Ghana National College, Adisadel College, among others, shared in the excellence of their counterparts from Mfantsipim School.
People of Lugba, Ajakoi organized a deba to raise money to support the Akpana Education Fund. It seeks to provide scholarships to brilliant but underprivileged children in the area. Mrs. Matilda Mensah-Arthur was at the deba to support the initiative. A report by Theodora Amedeto.
The Akpana Education Fund was established and launched in Accra in July 2015 to support the education of children and the smooth running of schools in the area. Each year, a fundraising deba is organized to accumulate funds for the project. This year's deba took place at Akpana in the Afajato South constituency in the Volta region. The chairman of the Ghana Library Board, Mr. Kosi Kedem, said the progressive world will not wait for any community, hence the need for the people of Akpana to embrace the fund and make it a success.
I want to appeal to everybody here to come out boldly, willingly, and donate generously to the fund, and I assure you, you will be blessed. This year the fund will give full scholarship to 7 students in their first year in a secondary school.
The Paramount Chief of Lugba Traditional Area, Togbe Gandabra, said he has been able to climb the education ladder through scholarships. Hence, the Akpana Education Scholarship, if well managed, would help brilliant but underprivileged children in the area. The wife of the Vice President, Mrs. Matilda Mr. Arthur, commended the people for implementing an initiative to invest into the education of their children.
Every community has problems. There is no community that doesn't have problems. But when it gets to thinking about our children, thinking about our community, we put aside all our differences, we come together for the good of the community. So I urge you that let this be a new chapter. Whatever it is, put it behind you and strive to achieve something that is unparalleled.
Mrs. and Mr. Arthur donated educational materials to the Lugba Ajakwe Ausi Primary and Junior High Schools. The primary school has been in existence since 1946, and the then middle school, established in 1969, was changed to JHS in 1987. The school achieved 100% in the BECE in 2014 and 2015. The chiefs, queen mothers, and the people were grateful to Mrs. and Mr. Arthur for the gesture and hoped the assistance would enhance the school's performance again in the 2016 BECE. For her passion and support for equal access to quality education in the country, the people of Akpana conferred on Mrs. and Mr. Arthur the title Unaje Amfa Ishi, or Mama Apa Menenyo the First. Theodora Medeto, GBC24.
Good evening, you're watching the business side of the news. My name is Esther Edu Ohumeu. The 4th edition of the University of Mines and Technology Biennial International Mining and Mineral Conference has ended at Takwa in the Western region. The conference serves as a platform on which academics and professionals in the mining and petroleum industry share their experiences and views on how to address challenges facing the industry.
4-day conference dubbed Innovations in Mining, Mineral Processing, Expanding the Frontiers of Mining Technology attracted about 200 delegates from all the continents of the world, including Asia, Europe, North America, Australia and Africa. The delegates engaged in deliberations that would help extend the frontiers of technology. Topics addressed included innovations in mining and petroleum engineering, geomatic and geological developments, and advanced in mineral extraction. The others are environmental and safety issues in mining, sustainable development, corporate social responsibility, and small-scale mining. The Vice-Chancellor of the University of Mines and Technology, Takwa, Professor Jerry Samuel Yao Kuma, said the vision of the university is to become a center of excellence in Ghana and Africa for conducting cutting-edge research and for producing world-class professionals for the mining, petroleum and allied industries. He underscored the need to expand the exploitation of the numerous non-traditional minerals such as clay and limestone to create more jobs in the country.
Judging from the way every Ghanaian wants to tile the floor of his or her house, I've been wondering why we have not collectively taken a decision to mine our clay, and with the limestone deposits we can start exploiting our desire and creating jobs by producing the tiles we so much cherish.
The Deputy Chief Inspector of Mines in charge of policy at the Minerals Commission, Mr. Ampon Santeria, said the country faces the challenge of ensuring a sufficient revenue stream from natural resource extraction, which is devoted to creating visible benefits such as the delivery of healthcare, social infrastructure and opportunities for people in the mining communities.
With the right investments, miners have the opportunity to reduce, in some cases eliminate uncertainty. Over time, mining will evolve towards knowledge-based jobs that will solve the same challenges as today, but to do so through different means. The mining companies that recognize this shift today best navigate the changes ahead that will be the winners of tomorrow.
A two-day meeting on the 2014 oil, gas and mining report for key partners in the extractive sector has ended at Takoradi. It was a forum to encourage greater transparency and accountability in the country's extractive industry. The Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative is a global standard that promotes revenue transparency and accountability in the oil, gas and mining sectors. Ghana signed on to the initiative since 2003 and has consistently been compliant to the rules of the initiative by providing audited reports on the performance of the extractive sector to the public. The 2014 report is the 11th produced by the Ghana Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative Secretariat. The participants and a number of resource persons had in-depth analysis and discussion on the performance of the country's extractive industry. The Director of the Policy Plan and Monitoring Evaluation at the Ministry of Petroleum, Mr. Joseph Ben Okai, explained to participants the various developments in the oil and gas sector.
With the completion of the Atomic Gas Project by Ghana National Gas Company and the commencement of operations in November 2014, we expect that the 2015 GTV report will take on board the gas sector and provide information on the production and utilization of indigenous gas in the country.
The Social Performance and Public Affairs Manager of Talu Ghana, Mr. Kwesi Boateng, said the Jubilee partners are fully committed to sharing information on their operations for transparency and accountability. In the Deputy Finance Minister's address, an official of the Finance Ministry, Mr. Franklin Ashiade, said the Extractive Industry Transparency Initiative has grown in scope since its inception in 2003 and has expanded its initial narrow focus on revenue transparency to the entire value chain of the extractive sector.
The findings and recommendations of these reports and earlier ones produced so far have been used to influence policy and also help address some institutional challenges. Government is committed to ensuring transparency in the utilization of the oil and gas revenues to reduce poverty and also sustain our growth in the medium to long term.
Let's have the performance of the CD at the start of this working week. On the performance of some commodities on the international market. In this segment,
Private medical and dental practitioners want the Ministry of Health to grant them incentives in the area of capacity building. This is to enable them to provide and improve upon essential services in areas where government facilities are absent. The practitioners at an annual general meeting in Accra were also discussing some pertinent challenges posed by occupational health issues in Ghana. A report by Sarah Ofori.
Universal and equitable health coverage is a non-negotiable target in the Sustainable Development Goals. Government efforts alone cannot attain this without private medical and dental practitioners and their facilities. They are seen to provide services to companies and are expensive to patronize. However, private practitioners in recent times are unable to meet the demands of the job, like paying salaries, carving a niche for themselves, and upgrading their personnel and facility. At this annual general meeting, private practitioners were asked to think outside the box to keep up in the industry. In an interview with GBC24, the president of the Society of Private Medical and Dental Practitioners, Dr. Isaac Morrison, appealed to the Ministry of Health to give them some concessions.
When the ministry talks of partnership with the private sector, technically they are talking of partnership with faith-based institutions. But with the private self-financing, there isn't really any type of proper collaboration in that context. We are considered private self-financing. You say you are comfortable, you want to build your clinic, you want to build your hospital, you want to do, but we are saying that in spite of all that, you still, even though you do the same, so you build hospitals for the public, etc., you still go ahead to build capacity. We are saying, help us build capacity. It could be capacity in managing emergencies. It could be capacity in managing orthopedics or trauma. It could be capacity in, just name it. Because let's give a very simple example. If today a disaster strikes, we are not going to say this doctor is from the public or this doctor is from the private. It is all hands on deck.
He added that government had nothing to lose in giving them the necessary support as required to ensure that healthcare is accessible to all, irrespective of one's geographical location. Cyril for GBC24, Accra.
Starts off on a hockey note. Ex-checkers of the Bank of Ghana twice came from behind to draw 2-2 with the Ghana Revenue Authority's Custom Division side. The encounter was the top of the table clash in week 5 fixtures of the ongoing Greater Accra Hockey League. The pairing of ex-checkers from the Bank of Ghana and the Ghana Revenue Authority's Custom Division side was the week 5 top of the table clash in the men's division. GRA in the red jersey were the first to score. Ex-checkers regrouped and cancelled the lead after they were denied on many occasions by the goalkeeper of GRA. The lads in the red jersey, GRA took the lead again to end the first half 2-1. Back from the break, captain of ex-checkers scored the second on the day. The back-to-back action ended 2 goals apiece. Here are the results of other matches played. Ackman 1, Police 4, NDK Financiers 0, Multistake 1, Extinguishers 1, Reformers 2. Royal Ambassadors Ladies 0, Police Ladies 14, Legonite 1, Trustees 6. Amazing Grace failed to turn up as GRA had a walkover. Ex-checkers 2, GRA 2. The league continues at the Theodore Okowoki Stadium in Accra. C-Class Cards Playing Club are winners of this year's Homework Cards Playing Competition. They beat Mandela Club in the finals. The competition was dubbed Homework El Clasico. The finals of the 2016 Homework El Clasico Cards Playing Competition was between 2 of the fierce rivals in the La community, C-Class and Mandela Club. The competition, aside climaxing the Homework celebration in La, was to drum home the message of peace before, during and after the upcoming general elections. The 5-hour finale was characterized with cheers and jeers and tension. At stake was a cash prize of 800 cedis and a trophy. The team that reaches the 1,700 mark will carry the day. After a series of rounds, C-Class emerged winner with 1,750 points. Captains of the sides shared their experience.
In every competition, there is only one winner. So we are going to prepare ourselves for next year. And probably we know one day our God in heaven is going to answer our prayers.
The organizer, Elvis Tetaji, was happy at the turn of events.
We want this El Clasico games to repeat itself again next year before our season. We want to make CAD an international game. Maybe in the future to see CAD in the Olympics game.
C-Class was presented with a cash prize of 800 cedis and a trophy. The Ghana Immigration Service women's football team are through to this year's Women's FA Cup semi-finals. They beat Holy Royals by a goal to nil. The Awak Stadium hosted one of the Sanford World Clinics Women FA Cup quarter-final matches. The experienced immigration lads in the green and yellow jersey dominated but could not find the back of the net. In the 30th minute, immigration were awarded a penalty. Captain Romana Tutahiru scored. Holy Royals packed their defense and made it difficult for immigration lads to increase their tally. The first half ended 1-0. Back from the break, immigration pushed for more goals, but some good goalkeeping artistry and resolute defending prevented the home side from scoring more. The Nzema-based Holy Royals nearly got a goal but were denied by the crossbar. The encounter ended 1-0. Here are reactions from the coaches and players.
I'm disappointed because we couldn't score a lot of goals. I was expecting my girls to score more than 6 goals. But sometimes football, hard luck.
Looking at the techniques, we say waiting, I'm and I also more stamina saying, let me say 5 months in here. Maybe say young boys and next year. Our
aim was to qualify for the next round, for the final, and we've been able to get it, whether it's 1 goal or we just needed the 3 points and we have it, so we are very happy about that.
To the Premier League, where 16 goals were recorded on March Day 23 in the ongoing Ghana Premier League. Here are the results. At the Sugar Coffee Park, Wafa 3, Accra to Folk nil. Second D, Hazake Studio and Stars 1. At Obwaze Ash go to near Dubiasi 0, Techiman City 1, Dwarfs 2, Hazakes 1, by 2 goals to 1, and Brikum Chelsea 1, Liberty Professionals 1, Tema Interlies 1, Mediama 1, and then again Wafa really beat Hasselfolk by 3-0. That's all for sports. Remember to catch the Olympics live on GTV Sports Plus tonight. Bye for now.
The 6th edition of the Charlewater Street Arts Festival is set to come off on the streets of Jamestown from August 15 to 21, 2016. This year's festival marks the 5th anniversary of Charlewater's infusion of arts, music and dance in Accra's oldest urban fishing community. The Charlewater Arts Festival 2016 edition has been expanded to a full week of activities which will feature more than 200 artists showcasing a wide array of mediums and projects. There will also be some international spies with more than 30 artists coming from 10 different countries.
The Charlewater Street Arts Festival is a platform that brings alive the magic of arts, music and dance along the streets of Jamestown in Accra. A variety of arts such as graffiti, interactive art installations and large photography were on display.
Others included handiwork such as beads, crafts, and items made of African fabric. Numerous street life performances caught patrons' attention. Fan lovers could not hide their feelings.
It's my first time here. A lot of artists, a lot of people are representing from different places, different countries and all that.
For our first time, I think it's great. It's okay. We have people coming in, filling some kind of questionnaires that we have. We have free giveaways and souvenirs. So for the first time, I think it's good.
A lot of different things going on. Yeah, it's really good. Very, very good.
I really like the music and the art. It's fantastic. It's very, very good. It's fun and it helps people to exhibit their talents. So I'm watching what I will see today. If it's good or bad, I'll let you people know later.
And this is a teaser of what to expect on the 15th to the 21st of August this year. Somehow the use of guns in Ghanaian music video is on the increase for some players in the industry. This is alarming and goes beyond just having fun. This was the discussion on esports, an entertainment show on GTV.
Legendary music video director and CEO of OM Studios, Abraham Ohenejan, has taken a swipe at some Ghanaian music video directors and artists for introducing guns in their video clips. The likes of Shatawale, EL and Sarkodie's videos were cited as examples.
Kids are so impressionable without the knowledge. And music videos travel so far and they're so popular that yes, the films are, you know, but music videos, the films, you buy, you choose. Yeah. You know, but music videos, most of the time, they're just there. Exposed.
An entertainment pundit and radio presenter, Sami Ba, also added his voice to the topic.
There are no regulatory bodies who are to check some of these things. But then I want to ask, even with his position, do we have something like an association or a guild for music video directors based on the video? The storyline that we are watching. If the gun comes in and it is meaningful, then I think that we can even spare them.
A TV presenter cum radio host, Ken Addo, had this advice for Ghanaians.
If you look out in the streets now, you see the way some people are dressing like Papi Kojo and all of that. You see the influence these guys have. Now, if these young ones see Shatawale holding a gun in a music video, he's dressing like him. He wants to behave like him. So the next thing is that he's going to find a gun and also act like him.
But it came out that Abraham had directed a video that had a gun in it. This is the answer he gave.
I have never used a gun in a video in a pointless way. And I think I've actually only had one gun ever shown in a video, which was Ochani's video, which was for a very specific reason, and it was held by a soldier, pointing it at a pregnant woman, you know, and it was depicting how wicked money can, you know. So I'm always very, very careful.
All this came out on esports, an entertainment show on GTV.
It's been 60 minutes of news. We leave you now with the main stories in brief.
The second phase of the re-registration of NHIS registrants has started, but turnout remains low. Affected persons are therefore being encouraged to take advantage of the extension to enable them cast their ballot in the December polls.
From Thursday, the 11th of August 2016, all public buildings are to start complying with Section 60 of the Disability Law. The enforcing of the law means that all facilities must be accessible to physically challenged persons. Thanks for keeping company with us.
News tonight is at 10:30. Please look at it.